Adrian, there have been a number of growing calls in recent weeks for supporters to come back into stadiums. What would your view on that be?
I think if you sat and watched television last night and you saw the snooker final at the Crucible, and there was a capacity crowd of 1,000 in there, sitting on top of one another, inside, limited ventilation, and at the moment fans are not allowed into a football ground on a Tuesday night or on a Saturday, out in the fresh air, getting a bit of company with people, any amount of social distancing possible. We proved it here earlier on in the season when we had 400 or 500 people at a game, no problem at all, and the people were wise enough to social distance themselves. With a 3,000 capacity stadium, absolutely no reason why we can't have fans in here at the moment. And let's face it, most of them have had injections of some description as well, so we're well down the street. And whilst they can't come here, they can go to the supermarkets and crawl on top of one another, looking for their groceries. And it's farcical in ways, you know.
Obviously,
there's the mental health aspect of it as well. I mean, we have supporters who have hardly been out of the house because they've nowhere to go. Shops are all locked up, they have been all locked up anyway, nowhere to go. And their Saturday outlet is gone. And even from the point of view of companionship, somebody to talk to, fresh air, the whole... I mean, the sooner we get crowds back in again, the better. As simple as that.
Yeah. Well, that's also the next question was going to be. I mean, obviously it's very late in the season now. We only really have, 2 home games after this. Mm-hmm. Why is it better to have them in now than just wait until August?
Well, as was proved when we had the 400 or 500 people in the ground, it adds a bit of atmosphere. And our games until the end of the season are all meaningful, or hopefully they're all meaningful. And to have a crowd in here behind us will make a heck of a difference. I think the lack of a home support has been demonstrated throughout football. Probably Liverpool's a typical example of that. The famous Liverpool Cup's not there, the famous Liverpool Roar's not there. Their home record this season has been disastrous. And there's a whole lot of clubs like that. And the players playing in front of half-empty or empty stadiums, it has been a season just to forget about, and we're very fortunate to have got to the stage of the season we're at, that it's nearly over.
Mm-hmm. I suppose as well, season ticket holders, people always went and bought season tickets at the start of the season, and they've had to go large parts of that season without seeing a ball kicked in the stadium. What would your message be to those supporters?
First of all, we're very grateful to them that they've accepted the situation. They realise that what has happened has been outside of our control. We've had to follow government protocols and football protocols and so forth. We've been fortunate in being able to set up your streaming system for them, and they've taken advantage of that. Thank goodness. It's kept them in touch with the club. But there is no substitute in football for the match day experience. Coming along with meeting your friends, being at the game, cheering your team on, sitting in the house with a dog or the wife or whoever, there's no comparison.
We're almost at the end of the season now, Adrian. What would your assessment be of the season that's been played so far?
It has been a very, very difficult season for everybody, particularly for the players. And this business that we've had in recent months of playing Tuesday, Saturday, it's taken its toll, as you can see from the long injury list. It always was a very difficult league. It's even more difficult now. We've got probably 4 teams at the top that seem determined to buy their way to success, and the rest of us, it puts pressure on us to get the best results that we can to stay in this league. That's been honest with you. And all the clubs, I think, bar a few, have got to be very, very sensible from a financial point of view. Our priority here at Mornview is to maintain the financial viability of the club and to maintain our Premier League status and take it from there, be as competitive as we possibly can. As far as the season concerned, full of ups and downs, demonstrated in the last couple of weeks, tremendous performance against Linfield and let down last Saturday at Ballymena.
And I'm sure preparations are well underway for next season, and certainly on the football side of things anyway.
Yeah, the office bearers have met with Gary and met with Big Paul on a couple of occasions, and we would be hopeful of announcing significant signings over the summer that hopefully will strengthen the team.
Just finally, I mean, you've always said, I mean, I've been in here enough occasions to hear you say that supporters are the lifeblood of the football club. You've been very lucky this season, well, rather the club's been lucky over the course of the season to have so many volunteers. I'm sure you want to say a word of thanks to them.
Yes, indeed. I mean, bar for voluntary volunteers, no Irish League club would exist, and we're no different here. And the way that people have come forward to act, not only as stewards and indeed to become stewards during the season, marshals, the media team, it's been a tremendous boost to us. But when you look at us all, I mean, we mentioned the season ticket holders earlier on, and as I said, I think they have been great. They've accepted the situation that they can't come to matches, although they're paid to come through no fault of ours, and they deserve enormous credit for that. We would hope to recognise them in some way once we return to normality. And also the same applies to our sponsors. Our sponsors this season, our matchday sponsors in particular, have been wonderful. They've been very supportive, very loyal, and it's been very much appreciated.